Well, Bennett Kessler filed this following report. In the hours after the Mammoth Lakes Town Council voted to pursue bankruptcy protection due to the staggering $43 million Mammoth Lakes land acquisition debt, Sierra Wave Media contacted MLLA attorney Dan Brockett for comment. He said that the company would fight Mammoth's bid for bankruptcy, that Mammoth is not insolvent, and that the town dealt with MLLA in repeated bad faith. Now, Town of Mammoth Lakes officials have responded in a statement, and this was apparently prepared by the town manager and assistant town manager. Now, that town statement says, quote, MLLA's bad faith continues, end quote. The statement said MLLA repeatedly refused to attend mediation before a well-respected former judge. The town also said MLLA, quote, once more violates its confidentiality obligations, mischaracterizes history, and defames the town and its hardworking officials, end quote. Now, MLLA attorney Brockett had said that Mammoth is not eligible for bankruptcy. They did not negotiate in good faith, said Brockett, and they are not insolvent. Brockett pointed to Mammoth's settlement offer of $20 million 6 months ago, which he said was made and then rescinded. The town's response in the statement says the town did offer $23 million to MLLA last November when town finances looked better. Now, Mammoth officials said MLLA, quote, rejected in full the town's generous offer, instead demanding $37.5 million by April 30th, end quote. Now, Brockett pointed to MLLA's offer to the town in March of roughly $2.7 million per year over 30 years with payment adjustments according to the snow year. He said Mammoth never responded to that offer. Now, Mammoth officials said that when they saw town finances deteriorate, they withdrew their offer that MLLA had already rejected. The town points again to the state bankruptcy law, which requires mediation with creditors. The town statement says that the law, quote, contemplates that MLLA would sit in a room with a highly qualified mediator, the town, and all those sacrificing to maintain town services and implement the cuts contemplated in the plan. MLLA would not come to the mediation, said the town, despite 6 invitations. Now, Brockett said, quote, we haven't gone to mediation because we knew it would go nowhere considering the history, end quote. Now, officials have said that some 16 out of 43 creditors did take part in mediation. Now, Mammoth officials stated that MLLA refused mediation and challenged the town to file Chapter 9 bankruptcy, claiming MLLA would cause the town's case to be dismissed and claiming that both the town has acted in bad faith and is not insolvent. Mammoth's statement says that the town is plainly insolvent because it cannot pay the $43 million debt. The statement said that amount is, quote, more than twice the town's annual discretionary budget, end quote. Now, officials maintain the town has negotiated in good faith with creditors who were willing. The statement says, quote, if MLLA is so certain of its position, the mediation venue would have been an ideal setting to talk with a distinguished mediator, peer creditors, and the town, end quote. Hammering their point home, Mammoth officials concluded by saying, quote, because MLLA steadfastly refused to participate in the mediation, the town had no choice but to commence the Chapter 9 case where MLLA must come and appear and articulate whatever its story is about how the town is able to satisfy in full, quote, the $43 million debt. Well, the town of Mammoth Lakes issued a press release saying it has published a frequently asked questions document regarding the judgment awarded to MLLA AB 506 mediation and Chapter 9 bankruptcy protection. Now, you can visit the website ci.mammoth-lakes.ca.us to review the document. It'll be on the homepage under News Flash. And in our next news segment, we'll have a report on the Mammoth Lakes Town Council meeting on the 4th of July concerning subsidizing air service. Well, the Bishop Police Department issued a press release saying it would like to make the public aware of the increasing popularity of synthetic marijuana in Bishop. synthetic cannabinoids, also referred to as Spice, K2, and Blaze, a psychoactive herbal and chemical product, according to that press release, which, when consumed, is supposed to mimic the effects of cannabis. Now, the Narcotic Educational Foundation of America states, quote, K2/Spice products are a mixture of herbal spice plant products sprayed with potent psychotropic drugs, often contaminated with unidentified toxic substances, which contribute to various adverse health effects and also cause hallucinogenic effects similar to the effects of PCP. Now, synthetic marijuana is normally marketed as herbal incense and/or smoking blends, which can be purchased at local convenience stores, gas stations, and online for $25 to $60 a package. The press release states that from the Bishop Police Department says that Bishop is not immune to this product, and they have had reports of juveniles purchasing synthetic marijuana and becoming very ill. The symptoms and side effects of synthetic marijuana are delusions, hallucinations, paranoia, increased aggravation, dilated pupils, and vomiting, and those are just listing a few. Now, the products are being sold over the counter and targeted at young people as a safe and legal alternative to marijuana. So you might want to make sure that you are aware of what your children are purchasing and the dangers it may impose on their health. Now, we're getting word from the Bishop Police Department press release that selling and purchasing synthetic marijuana is a misdemeanor and can have a punishment of a fine of up to $1,000 and/or imprisonment in a county jail not exceeding 6 months. Now, again, if you have any questions or concerns about synthetic marijuana, you can contact the Bishop Police Department. Well, Bennett Kessler filed this following report. According to news reports and commission meeting minutes, the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power has long used lobbyists and public relations firms to spin legal and political issues its way. But since the tiny Mammoth Community Water District hired a public relations firm to help in its David and Goliath fight with Los Angeles, DWP has accused the district of trying to snow the public. Now, in a press release issued last Saturday by DWP General Manager Ron Nichols, he bashes Mammoth's Water District for hiring a PR firm and the Los Angeles Times for reporting on LA's legal attacks on Mammoth's water rights. Nichols said the Times used, quote, many of the baseless arguments set forth by lobbyists and public relations consultants hired by Mammoth's Community Water District, end quote, at public expense. And Nichols' press release tries hard to convince that DWP is not trying to take Mammoth's water. Now, Nichols claims that DWP is, quote, in no way attempting to deny water to the town of Mammoth Lakes, end quote. Although 6 months ago, LA did launch a legal attack on Mammoth's surface water in 2 lawsuits claiming senior rights to Mammoth. Now, at one point, Nichols said LA wants to share water with Mammoth. Then he says LA has no obligation to provide free water to Mammoth Community Water District. Nichols further contradicts himself when he says Mammoth knows its position is groundless and is using public relations to, quote, camouflage, end quote, its lack of water rights. Finally, Nichols gets around to saying LA will negotiate with Mammoth toward a compromise. He says both sides are in search of, quote, a suitable resolution that would enable LADWP to retain its water while meeting the needs of Mammoth, end quote. You can see more on this story and other stories we have reported on our website, sierrawave.net. We'll be back with more news.